And welcome back to the Big Spike Preview Special. I'm Dan Gallagher. This is Brendon Connor. Something new this year, some indoor volleyball. Tell us about the World League.
Well, the World League is very exciting for Canadian volleyball. It's the top 12 teams in the world, basically, in men's volleyball. Canada made some great strides last year on the men's side, went to the World Championships in Japan, and played well enough to be invited to play in this World League this summer of 12 elite teams. So Canada has drawn 3 other teams, Holland, Spain, and Brazil, and they will play home and home this summer with those clubs. And we'll have the 3 games on Canadian soil for you right here on the Big Spike. We'll start in Hull, Quebec, where it'll be Canada against Brazil. Then we'll move to Calgary, and it'll be Canada against the Netherlands, a very strong team, and Canada against Spain from Winnipeg later in the summer as well. It's indoor volleyball. It's 6-on-6, the more traditional stuff, the kind you played in gym class, no doubt.
What period was that?
Oh, you skipped that one, eh?
But of course, my favorite stuff is the Pro Beach Volleyball. Great big tour. We covered it last year. And Brendan, where are we going this year?
The Labatt Tour this year, 8 stops, a couple of new places. We're going to Parksville, BC, on Vancouver Island. We'll also be in Shediac, and we'll be in Montreal, and back in North Bay, back in Wasaga, Grand Bend, Winnipeg. It's going to be a great tour. We have 13 shows on the Big Spike from the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. And, you know, when you start talking about Pro Beach Volleyball in Canada, you got to start with the bronze medalist from 1996, Hees and Child. And let's start with John Child.
Put in a full training season this year. Actually, took about a month off right after the season just to kind of recoup. And Mark actually was going through some shoulder problems, had a surgery on his arm, and figured it was probably just a good time to take a break. We hadn't had one for probably 2 years leading up to that. So took a bit of time and then got into a good training regimen. Spent a little more time in the gym this year doing some strength training rather than on the sand doing the cardio and technical type training. You find that you kind of wear down as the season goes over, and that's when you tend to get a little, the body starts hurting. You get running into a few injuries and a few problems. Seems to be heading in the right direction. I think a lot of the athletes in Canada keep the right mindset about it. We know we're not a major sport, but we're trying to get there, and we'll hopefully do what it takes to get there. We're trying to make the sport fun for everybody and really entertaining for the crowd to, just keep everybody happy.
All right, and joining me now here on the beach in 1999 is John Child, one half of the team of Hees and Child, the bronze medalist from 1996. And John, this is a big year for you. This is an Olympic qualifying year, so you're not going to be at home too much. You're going to be away internationally, piling up those Olympic qualifying points. But we wanted to get your opinion on who to watch for on the domestic tour here in 1999. If Hees and Child are going to be away, who's going to move up?
It should be an exciting year this year. Some of the teams to watch are Delaney Holmes gave us a lot of tough battles last year, so they're a team to look for. The other one is Robertson Blasey, is always, Frank's always entertaining in his own right. So those are 2 of the teams, as well as Lubicic and Sleen. We'll put up a good battle with those guys to see who's gonna be the top dog this year.
Okay, let's go over those teams then. We talked about Delaney and Holmes, and they made a lot of the Final Fours last year on the domestic tour, and Steve Delaney's been away playing pro ball in Europe. Comes back with the blonde haircut now. He's going to be a fiery one to watch, and Dave Holmes, great on defense.
Yeah, they're pretty steady, and I think as time goes on, once their side-out game's getting steadier and steadier, and they're certainly capable of making a lot of points with Delaney's big serve, as well as Holmes plays a lot of defense. So between those, they're always been a threat to score, and I think they're siding out a little more consistently too. So they'll be trouble for a lot of guys.
Now the second team you mentioned, Blasey and Roberts. Mark Roberts always a crowd favorite wherever he goes. They call him the entertainer, and Frank Blasey's been at this as long as you have. He's the veteran, the wisdom out there. They make an interesting team, and they could be heard from this summer.
Oh yeah, they'll always be tough, and they really play on a lot of adrenaline. Roberts is always a fan favorite, and Frank's always the guy the fans hate, so that when they play together, it should make it for an interesting combination. So I think that's always an entertaining team.
Now, Lubicic and Sleen, they've dabbled at international ball along with you guys. I know you train with them a lot. George Lubicic, kind of the Clark Kent of the tour. Quiet, doesn't say much, got the great physique. And Mike Sleen coming off a great career indoors at U of T. They're an interesting team because Sleen's got those tricky serves. He's the server of the year last year.
Yeah, he does, and they're the team that I think could possibly not the upset, but the team to really watch out for this year. I think they'll do a lot of good things. They showed the most consistency over the last couple of years in terms of their results. So I think they're going to be a definite threat. And
team to watch for the tour this year.
Okay, what about He's and Child in your domestic appearances here this year? You had the big FIVB event coming up in Toronto, second year for the Toronto Open. It's getting harder and harder out there on the international tour because those American guys have come off the AVP tour. It's a challenge for you. Making the Olympics is going to be tough this year.
Oh yeah, it's certainly not a gimme just because we had a good performance in the last Olympics. It's going to be difficult to qualify. It always is. I thought it was just because we were getting older that it got more difficult, but that's not the case. A lot of new up-and-comers that are very strong, and a lot of, like you said, a lot of American players, and everyone really at this time is just making a strong push to to do their best. Everyone's at their peak in terms of training and just really trying to qualify and get there.
All right, John, well, good luck on the tour, both domestically and internationally. I'm sure we'll see a lot of you.
Oh, thanks very much.